All right, perfect. All right, to start off, before we dive into the mental side, can you introduce yourself and tell me a bit about your journey throughout the game of golf?
My name is Laurel Kean. I played golf at the University of South Florida, and I played on the LPGA Tour for about 18 years. And now I've been retired for almost 20 years and worked at LaPlaya about 20 years, 19 years.
Perfect. You've competed at the highest level. How did you mentally prepare for the pressure of professional tournaments?
So prepared, number one. So I practice a lot, very disciplined about getting every facet of the game. So when I went to the tournament, I felt it was a little confident that I could hit those shots. That helps if you feel like you can't hit a shot. But yeah, just playing. I used to play with the guys a lot. I used to play with people that could beat me. You know, I used to put myself in situations where I felt nervous, and that way, when you get in that situation, you're always going to be nervous if you care, but under certain circumstances. But yeah, try to put yourself in a position to that you're going to be in a tournament. Play with better players. Play with somebody you don't know. You know, don't get used to playing with people that you are used to.
Absolutely. What's the importance of visualization in golf?
It's huge. So the night before, I would always, you know, that whole your brain doesn't know if you can visualize really well. It doesn't know if it's real or not. So, but I used to, the night before, before I went to sleep, I'd go through the holes, stand up on the first tee, hit the shots. Sometimes I wouldn't make 18 holes because I'd fall asleep. But overall, I think it's huge, and I think getting on the first tee is huge. Of maybe just breathing. You're always going to be nervous, probably first tee. You know, get out the first few holes out of the way, and just feel like I put myself in a bubble. And then when it's my turn, you know, just feel a little bit more relaxed and take visualizing. I wasn't real good at visualizing the shape shot. I was more kinesthetic, felt it more, but still would get back. Always had a pre-shot routine, which is, you see every tour player have a pre-shot routine, so that's used too when you're nervous. Kind of try to do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was actually a later question. What was your pre-shot routine, and why'd you do it?
Yeah, so I actually worked with a sports psychologist way back in the day. We'd even do it time on. I'd have the same 5 steps walking into it. It just, you know, when you get nervous, when there's distractions, it gets you in the bubble. It gets you to feel like, okay, this is in your own little space. I remember hearing that when Annika's caddy, Terry, would say that they used to even, the time-wise, and when she played in the men's tour at Colonial, that one event that was insane with the amount of people and what it meant for, you know, women's golf and just everything. He said he timed it when she was actually going on the first tee shot of the day, which I can't imagine how nervous somebody's got to be, but she said spot on. Same second that she did when she was in practice, she did on that first tee shot, so, which obviously helped her.
Yeah,
did pretty well, yeah.
How important is it to have patience, whether it's during a round or just overall becoming a more skilled golfer?
Yeah, I mean, you can get pissed after a shot. I'm really okay if you're that kid. Everybody's personality is a little bit different. You know, slam the club or something. But I'm telling you what, once you slam the club, you go to the next shot. It's got to be, again, that's what a pre-shot's good. You know, get kind of pissy if you want, but once you're getting your pre-shot, it's all about the next shot. You know, maybe I need to feel like a good swing, that I know that you've always had a good swing. Maybe the 6-iron, think, okay, you know, I had a good shot. You know, I know the feel of a good shot with a 6-iron. And kind of get yourself back into that. You know, maybe walk slower if you have to. You know, don't try to go to the next shot and hurry up and hit it. Pay attention to your pace. Yeah.
Absolutely. If you could go back and specifically coach your younger self, what piece of advice would you give yourself?
I would play with better players. I'd practice rounds. I was very shy, so I didn't. I played by myself a lot. So when I got into that situation, sometimes I was so nervous that I thought I was more conscious about how nervous I was than actually playing the game. I won one tournament out there, and they said the day before the last day that night, I said, you know what, I'm just going to try to enjoy it. I'm not going to be so nervous that all I think about is how nervous I am and I want to get it over with. I want to actually enjoy it, and I enjoyed it, and I played well and won. So, yeah, I would get myself out there with a lot of players that I was uncomfortable with to play a practice round. Yeah.
What role do you feel confidence plays in golf, and how do you go about building it?
Say again, what role?
What role does confidence play?
Confidence? Yeah, I mean, It's funny. I just had a playing lesson with Riley that I told you about. Really good player, 15-year-old, and it's huge. She hit a shot in the last hole just in practice. I mean, you can tell that somebody was kind of iffy over a shot. You're not going to commit to it, and that's where practice comes in. You know, if you're going to hit a shot, I would say certainly in tournament, don't hit a shot that you don't know that you think you can pull off. If you have to hit a layup, hit the layup. If you don't feel like you can hit something, that shot over the water. But yeah, it's very important because you're not going to commit if you don't feel like you can hit the shot.
Right.
Yeah.
How does a golfer take hitting a ball perfectly on the range out into the course in like a high competition?
Yeah, that goes along with, that's a good shot. A lot of people I teach, oh my God, I'm such a good range player or a good practice swing. It just goes the same. Everything, I mean, this is going to seem redundant, but I would say 99.9% of amateurs that are playing just club area anyway at the club, they don't do a pre-shot routine. They're talking. But I think it's the pre-shot routine that gets you into focus and gets you into, okay, this is the shot I want. This is where I want to hit it. Doesn't matter where you don't want to hit it because your brain just hears last thing. I don't want to hit it in the water. Well, I just said, well, So I think that no matter what it is, if you got negative stuff coming through, your last thing is hit it to a fat part of the fairway. Hit it to the fat part of the green. Anywhere where you feel like you don't have to hit this perfect and you just have to swing through it, I think you'd be better off. Yeah.
Who's one of the most mentally tough golfers you've played with or against, and what made them special?
God, I have so many good ones. Certainly for me, I mean, Patty Sheehan. I mean, I've played with her when she wasn't hitting it well. It didn't matter. She wasn't trying to impress people that I'm not striking it well that day. She got it around the course and still shot on a par. So there's, Annika, of course, is strong. She's just so prepared, physically, and she just, to me, there's so many of them. But yeah, it's kind of nice. It's interesting seeing a good player that's not having in their A game and getting around somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you coach younger players, of course, and do you coach beginners? Like, kind of.
I have, yeah.
What's a big difference you see or what's a similarity kind of that you see in mental challenges or mental blocks in skilled players and just the.
That's a good question. I mean, certainly beginners. I'll even say they'll go to a different direction. So, a lot of women, and not to put. We're always so self-conscious anyway, but I know the number one probably thing I hear is when they first start is the first tee and hitting in front of people. They would rather just go to the second hole when people aren't watching. And the same thing with if you're an experienced player. If you're not used to playing around a crowd, I think you probably get that same feel. But again, that's where you just sort of say, okay, that's all around. I think the last thing you do is just see where you want to hit it. This is where I want it to go, not where I don't want it to go. And I think that, they're there, but you know what? A lot of times a thought would be just swing through it. Don't think about the ball. Just try to swing through it and see the fairway.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the last one. If you had to give one piece of advice to golfers struggling with the mental side of the game, what would it be?
That's a great question because that's what it's all about. Certainly breathing exercises maybe too. I would learn to just, because we're going to be nervous, maybe kind of take your time with, like I said, it's always about pre-shot, but I know a lot of amateurs aren't going to do pre-shot. They're just not going to do it. So, okay, maybe just kind of find your focus, find where you want to hit it on the fairway, and just breathe or take a deep breath before you're hitting it, and just feel like you just want to swing through it. Yeah.
So that's it.
So we'll see. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.